I am the greatest.
It's necessary for y'all to understand. I just gotta explain it to
15
y'all.
times I've told the clown what round he's going down, and this chump ain't no different.
Let me explain it to y'all, cause y'all just don't understand it.
He'll fall an eight to prove that I'm great, and if he keeps talking jive, I'm gonna cut it to 5.
See, you just can't get with the confidence. You can't get rid of it. You can't knock it out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. He might be the greatest of all time. I say my God is the greatest of all time. But Muhammad said he's the greatest of all times. So we just gonna let Muhammad have that, okay? I am just the greatest, all right? No competition with nobody. I am the best me there ever was, and there'll never be another one like me. You best believe it. You sure got that right, buddy. I don't know nobody else like you. You something else. Something else? What you trying to say? I ain't trying to say nothing. Did it sound like I was trying? Did it sound like I was having difficulty talking? Well, you sound like you got something stuck up your nose. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We did an amendment to the document that we talked about last night. It's called the Express Trust Universal Template. It is online now. We just put the updated one. I downloaded the other one yesterday that you put. Don't worry about it. Download this one. Ignore that one. Okay, it's done. Pay attention to this notice. This document is not intended to threaten, harass, intimidate, offend, conspire, blackmail, coerce, cause concentration, alarm, contempt, or distress, or impede any public duties. It is presented with honorable and peaceful intentions. Any affirmation contrary to the verified statement of facts will comprise your stipulation to committing a fraud upon the court. One shall remain silent as to the instant matter to preserve one's right to arbitration, but also the right to the attaining of the age of majority, because it has not been, nor could it ever be had in law, that a member of the majority could ever become a minor and or an infant. Ladies and gentlemen, that's just basically to say that once you've attained the age of majority, nothing you can say or do could make you a minor again. Okay, that's what that statement is. Pay attention to this statement right here. The instant matter is definitely a matter dealing with an infant minor ward of the court, unless the court will state with specificity and without ambiguity that the presenter, a real party in interest, has attained the age of majority upon their 18th birthday and is construed, recognized, present, not in an administrative, civil adult, but as a man, woman, capable of managing or handling his or her own affair. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to be an adult. I know all of you guys have been using that word adult. So let's do us. I haven't looked it up yet. I have not looked it up yet. But let's do ourselves some favor. I'm downloading The Sopranos. That's right. I said it. I said it. Y'all best believe it. I got to have myself some Sopranos, okay? Because I don't know how to sing nothing else. Oh, he'd be sitting up there singing in soprano, mama. Okay, let's do this. What was the word? A-D-U-L-T. Legal, meaning administrative. Definition. There's a difference between legal and lawful. One is an administrative, where they get to create their own words because they get to control the administrative. They get to regulate that, just like Congress gets to regulate commerce. Congress gets to regulate commerce when there is a profit because you have the right to your necessities. So Congress can regulate anything over and above your obtaining your necessities. That's why if you make a profit, you pay taxes. If you make no profit, you pay no taxes, which is why many of you who have homes and you're paying property tax, it's because you've registered your property as an income property. You have to correct the rolls. People talk about correcting the tax rolls. No, you just have to go there and say, I need the exempt form. What are you talking about? What exempt form? Well, my property is listed as an income property. That's my living space. That's where I live. That's where I stay. So I need y'all to correct this record. So I need the exemption form. I need my property to be listed as a property for my permanent place of living. All right? Thank you. Have a good day. Get out my face. I don't want to hear it. I'm not here to argue with you. Either you have the form or you don't. If you don't have the form, I need some supervisor to sit up here and tell me definitively, I got my phone here, I want to record them telling me that you don't have a form and you don't recognize what I'm talking about. Because they got to save the county money. So they got to make as much money as possible, so they're going to deny it at first. Pay attention to you guys. It's an adult. An adult. What's an adult? It's a person who is fully grown or developed. Well, guess what? Do you know that a 16-year-old can be fully grown and developed? That's why they can apply for emancipation and be treated as an adult. But that doesn't tell you who that person is. Now look the adjective. Of a person or an animal fully grown or developed. Which is exactly, pay attention, I did not look up this definition. The reason why I'm doing this now, because I wanted to tell you what I was thinking. We talk about animals being full grown, being mature. Ladies and gentlemen, that has nothing with reaching the age of majority. You don't want to be an adult. That's a civil character. So people have been having, because I had a conversation with yesterday, and the guy said, the judge says, well, you are already recognized in law as an adult. And he didn't respond to the judge because he didn't know that when the judge said that, and when if a judge says that to me, I'm automatically going to key in on the fact that he says legal. Because legal is administrative. That means they created the term. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to be an adult. You want to be of the age of majority. Because they have no jurisdiction over the person who is of the age of majority. Let's do it because y'all don't understand it. I know y'all don't understand it, but I told y'all this fool's a genius. So let's find out what's the definition for age of majority. Because you see, all of the laws talk about not an adult, they talk about a minor, infant, and majority. Age of majority. Age of majority is a threshold for adulthood. No, it isn't. As it is conceptualized and recognized and declared in law statutory. Now, let's do this. Pay attention. This is the definition we want. This is the legal definition. This is just a Wikipedia definition. Wikipedia. Anyway, the age at which a person, formerly a minor or an infant, is recognized by law to be an adult. We don't want to focus on the word adult. Capable of managing his or her own affairs and responsible for any legal obligations created by his or her actions. A person who has reached the age of majority is bound by any contract, deed, blah, blah, blah. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand the difference? Don't focus on the word adult or adulthood. You focus on the phrase age of majority. Okay? Look, legal definition of age of majority. This is from Merriam-Webster. The age at which a person is granted by law the rights as ability to sue and responsibilities as liability under contracts of an adult. Called also full age. You can say you've reached full age, but I would say I'm the age of majority. And I just need to make sure before I stand up here and say anything before this body as I'm recognized as having attained the age of majority. No, just yes or no. The court just needs to answer yes or no. Either I have attained the age of majority or I haven't. So I just need it to be stated on the record. They'll try to say, excuse me, that's not an answer to my question. No, that's a play on words. So I just need the court to say without ambiguity, because those are ambiguous words that you're using. Those are legal terminologies. I just need you to state for a fact, whether or not, need it to be stated on the record, either I've reached the age of majority or I haven't. See, it doesn't matter whatever they say. It still makes it a matter of trust. We're going to talk about that now. Okay? So this is me letting you know, I ain't gone over this stuff before, y'all. Before this moment, what I just showed you, I've never looked up before, never cared. And if I've read it before, I never read it with this intent. So let's finish, shall we? that the courts state with specificity and without ambiguity that the person has attained the age of majority upon their 18th birthday and is construed recognized present not in an administrative civil as an administrative civil adult, but as a man or a woman. You see, you can't be a minor and be a man. You can't be an infant and be a man, nor can you be a minor and be a woman, or an infant and be a woman. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot be a man or a woman and incapable of managing or handling your own affairs, because the law does not recognize that unless you've been declared clinically, which is an administrative term, insane. And even then, they still can't take your property rights without due process of law. Because, and due to the sheer fact that this matter is a matter of equity, a matter of trust, and a matter dealing with an infant minor property, the instant matter is neither civilly or civil administratively, is neither civil administratively and or criminal administratively, but a matter of equity without the law, as equity remains present even without law, and the court must, in its inherent equitable position as mandated, render equity, and it may not aid a wrongdoer under any circumstances. Here it is. Should the court in its infinite wisdom through its administrative officer make the executive decision not to respond and or place evidence on the record of either infancy and or attaining majority, it will be deemed acquiescence supported by the proof contained herein of a party of interest having attained the age of majority at their 18th birthday, stripping the court of any presumed and or assumed jurisdiction, making the court liable through waiver of immunity via such acquiescence. When dealing with a person attaining the age of majority, facts and conclusions have to be supported by equitable law and not administrative law, as administrative law may not be applied to one having attained majority without their consent, as involuntary servitude is against equity, and the presenter waives no rights under any circumstances at any times at any moment without exception. This instrument document evidence is hereby and herein placed on the record for a permanent memorial for the existence of an express special trust, relationship trust. Okay, that's what we've done for you. So this document is the one you saw yesterday, the one that's over 33 pages. Man, that's a lot of pages. That's why you do them front and back when you file it. You don't do it each page. Okay, do it front and back. This we put up there. All the revisions and everything is already online for all of you. Take a look at it, go over it. You'll understand it. I want to thank you all for taking the time to see the genius. And as you heard Muhammad say, I am the greatest. I is the greatest. I am the greatest. Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, I hope this finds you well. Goodbye. Adios. Arrivederci. 13 minutes and 20 seconds.